Hello, and welcome back to the gameplay of Settlers of Catan with the Seafarer expansion. As you can see, we have the Fog Island scenario set up here, and we already determined the play order with the metal player going first, followed by the milk player, which is controlled by me, and we're gonna do the tangerine and the the tangerine and the tomato player. So we each get to place two settlement pieces, and we're gonna do that right now, starting with the metal player. Alright, now that we're finished with the setup, we can start the game. According to the scenario, whoever reaches 12 victory points will win the game. So let me just talk about it a little bit. I placed my settlement here because it's a pretty much automatic development card. If I get wool, grain, and ore. And my other settlement here, I was gonna use the lumber to sort of go out to the sea and get the port here, so I can do a 2-to-1 trade with my lumber. But the metal people blocked me, so now I need to figure something out to sort of get around that and move out to the sea to explore. So the game first begins with the metal player. We will now roll the dice for production. 8. We get an wool. Orange player gets a wool. Orange player also gets a brick. Nothing we can do, and we don't want to trade. So now it's my turn. 3. So I get an ore, and what's the other 3? And the metal player gets a lumber. I'm going to spend my lumber and wood to build a road. So that way I can hopefully get that port and go out explore that way. So I need to first build a settlement here, and I can build my ship from there. And that's the plan. Now it's Tangerine people's turn. A 5. So we get an ore. Oh, I don't see any other 5, so only we get an ore. I have a brick. Would anyone like the brick? I want to trade it for lumber. No.
No, I don't have lumber.
No, we need the lumber. Okay, then.
Now it's tomato people's turn. We roll for resources. 6. So the milk people gets lumber. And milk people also gets a grain, and so do we. We are going to use the wool and the lumber to build a new ship so that we can go out and explore. As per the game rule, my trade route is now connecting to this space right here, so we get to refill a new tile. It is just an empty sea tile, so no rewards for me.
The metal people will now roll for resources. 10. The milk people gets a wool, and the tomato people also get a wool. We metal people would like to build a new ship route as well. We'll use the wool and the lumber, and we'll build a new ship right here. And we get to refill a region as well. Just an empty sea space, no reward for the metal people. Okay, so we're gonna roll for the milk people's production. Here we go. 6. So the milk people gets a grain, and the tomato people also get a grain. And any other, and we also, the milk people also gets a lumber. Okay, so I need some bricks. So is anyone willing to give me a brick? I can give you, I don't know, let's see. I can give you an ore and an ore, yeah. No, but I can give you my brick if you can give me a lumber. Okay, that's fine. Deal. Okay, deal. And we will now use the lumber and the brick that we just got to build a new road. And we'll also get a development card. How's that? By paying the wool, grain, and ore. So we got a chapel, which is worth 1 victory point. Normally you don't show this to any other player, but I'm going to just sort of put it down here so that you guys can all know that we have 1 extra victory point. And the other players don't know that I have that. And now it's Tangerine people's turn again. We will roll for the resource. 7. So I'm going to move the pirate ship over to here. And now I can steal a card from the tomato peoples. We'll just do the top card. So now I'm going to use a lumber and a wool to get a new ship. And I'm also gonna use an ore, a wool, and the grain that I just stole to get a new development card.
I have plenty of grain, so that was no big deal. Now let's roll for a resource. 4. So the milk player gets gets a brick, and the metal player gets brick. What's the other 4? And the tangerine people gets a grain. And there's nothing I can do with these new resources, so the turn goes to metal player right now.
We shall now roll for the resources. 11. So the tomato gets 1 wool. That's about it. Would anybody like some bricks? I would trade my brick away for a lumber or a wool. I would like some bricks, but I can give you ore for it. No, we need lumber or wool. Then no deal. Okay, then my turn is over. So now it's my turn again. Let's roll the resources. So 11 again, so I get another wool right here. Sorry, not me. The tomato player gets another wool right there. And I don't plan on doing any trades because I don't think anybody wants my cards. So now it goes to Tangerine player. And we shall now roll for the resources. 3. So milk gets an ore and metal gets a lumber. And we're not gonna do anything else.
My turn then. 8. So tangerine gets a brick, and metal and tangerine again gets a wool. I'm going to activate my port here to use two wool to convert it into an ore. I'm gonna put an extra wool and the grain to get a development card.
And now it's metal people's turn. Roll for resources. 10. Milk gets wool. Tomato gets wool. We will now use a wool and lumber to build a ship. And we get to draw a new tile again. Another MTC tile. Does this item really exist? Highly doubtful now. And my turn to roll for resources. 8. So Tangerine gets a brick, and Tangerine and Metal Player gets a wool. I would like to use my ship to trade for either a brick or lumber. Anyone interested in it? I have a brick, but do you have a better offer than just a wool? Okay, I can add in an ore. 2 for 1 trade. Okay, deal. I will now activate my port. I'll use 2 of my bricks to get a lumber. And then I'll use another wool, grain, and brick to build a new settlement along with that new lumber I just got. And now I will be able to do a 3-to-1 trade.
And now I'll just roll for my resources. It's tomato player's turn. 8. Oh, that sucks. So Tangerine gets a brick, and Tangerine also gets a wool, and the metal also gets a wool.
We shall now roll for resources. 4. Milk gets a brick, and metal also gets a brick. Does anyone have lumber willing to trade? I can use my wools. No, I need lumber. No, I don't have lumber.
Nope, no lumber.
Okay, then my turn ends. Okay, so it's milk people's turn now. Hopefully I roll a 6. I really need that lumber. And it's a 9. So the metal and the tomato people gets the lumber, and the tomato and tangerine gets the ore. Anybody willing to give me the lumber? I have ore and brick. No, we need a lumber. I have no lumber. And I need my lumber, so no deal. Okay then. Now it is my turn. 8. So we get a brick and a wool, and the metal gets a wool as well. We're going to activate the port right here. And we're trading 2 bricks as a lumber. And along with our wool, we'll build a ship.
Okay, let's roll for the resources. 8. Wow, again. So Tangerine gets a brick, Tangerine gets a wool, and metal also gets a wool. So first thing first, we're going to use our knight card. We're going to move this pirate ship to here to bug the metal people. And we get to steal 1 card from the metal people. And then we're going to spend the lumber and the wool to build a new ship to explore. And now that the knight is gone, the pirate is gone, I can finally build a ship here to explore that area. Let's see what we have. Oh, finally, something other than a sea. So we discover a grain field. We also draw a token, and it's a 9. Because I'm the first to discover this region, I also receive 1 grain as a reward.
Okay, please do not roll a 7. We have too many cards. 11. So the tomato gets a wool. Too many cards on hand. Very dangerous. I will now use maritime trade. Trading my 4 wool for a grain. And I will also use a lumber and a brick to build a road. Please roll a 6 for me. 6. 8. Why does it have to be 8? So Tangerine gets a brick and a wool, and metal gets a wool. Nothing I can do, so let's go to Tangerine player's turn. And let's roll the resources. 5. Where is the 5? Oh, excellent. We get 2 ores. Now, I would like to trade 2 of my ships away for a grain. Any takers? Yes, we would like that trade. Okay, deal. We will now activate our port here to trade 2 bricks away for another grain. And with that, and 3 ore and 1 more grain, we can upgrade one of our settlements into a city. And we're gonna do this one right here. And that ends our turn.
So let's hope for a good resource roll. 8. Again. Unbelievable. So they get 2 bricks for Tangerine, 1 wool for Tangerine, and 1 wool for metal. I'm just gonna spend the wool, grain, and ore to get another development card.
Resource production 10. Tomato gets a wool. Milk gets a wool. We made an error. We should not have traded with the Tangerine people. But it's too late now. I will now trade 4 of my sheep away for another grain. And that will end the turn. Please, I really need a roll of 6. 6, please. 7. So nobody has more than 7 cards, so nobody discards. And now I'm actually gonna move the robber instead. I'm just gonna move it to here because A always comes up, and that's really annoying. Just gonna take a random card here, and we got a grain. The one he just cheated too. I'm just gonna use the grain and wool to get a development card. Oh, another victory point. Let's now roll for the resources. 5. So I get 2 ores, and that's it. I'm going to use my brick pour to trade in 2 of my bricks for lumber, and with the wool, we're gonna build a ship. And now we get to discover the new island tile, and just an empty sea.
Okay, tomato people's turn. 7. Okay, let's see. Nobody needs to discard cards. Nobody has more than 7 cards. Let's just move this pirate ship over here. And I'm gonna steal one of the Tangerine people's card.
Now, let's lower resources. 9. So the Tangerine gets 2 ore, the tomato gets an ore, tomato also gets a lumber, and metal people gets another lumber as well. I would like to use my wool to trade for a grain. Any takers? No. No, don't need the wool.
No, I don't need a wool.
Okay then. Alright, it's my turn. I think I'm gonna change strategy a little bit. Seeing how everyone else is going out the sea to explore, I'm gonna stay within the mainland and expand within this region. Since I already have 2 victory points from development cards, so I'm going to get more development cards and build more cities within the mainland and win that way. We'll see if that works. So let's roll for resources right now. Oh, wow, 9 again. So 2 ore for Tangerine, 1 ore for tomato, 1 lumber for tomato, and 1 lumber for metal. Okay, didn't get any resources. So let's move on to the next player. And now it's my turn. We'll roll for a resource. Wow, another 9. So 2 more ore for me, 1 for tomato, 1 lumber for tomato, and 1 lumber for metal. And we're now going to use our knight card. We're going to move that pirate away from our ship. And we're gonna move it to the tomato player. They're gonna steal a card from them. I'm now going to activate my 3-to-1 port to trading 3 ores for 1 wheat from the bank. And now I'm gonna use the wheat I just stole from the tomato player plus another 3 ore because we rolled so many 9s. We're gonna upgrade to another city.
Okay, let's roll for a resource. Let's hope it's not a 7 because I have a lot of cards. 3. So milk gets an ore and metal gets a lumber. I'm going to use my other knight card to move that pirate away. So let's move it back to the orange player and steal their card. They only have 1 card. I would like to use my ore to trade for a sheep. Anybody want that trade?
No. No. Would you like to use your lumber? If you have a lumber, I can give you my sheep.
Okay, no problem. I'll give you a lumber instead. So now, we'll use a wool and a lumber to build a ship. So let's discover a new terrain tile. And this is, we get a sheep. And let's draw a number, it's a 4. And because I'm the first one to discover it, I also get a sheep as a reward. And we're gonna use another lumber and wool to build another ship. And let's discover another tile. It's an ore. A mountain, rather. Oh, and it's a big, fat, juicy 6. Okay. And we also get an ore as a reward. And because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships, so I also get the longest road achievement and get 2 extra victory points. And now I'm going to use maritime trade to use 4 ore to trade 1 grain. And I'm gonna use that along with another ore and a wool to get a development card.
Commencing rolling for resources. 3. We get 1 lumber. And milk gets 1 ore. We will now activate our harbor here to trade 2 lumber for 1 grain. And we're also gonna use an lumber, brick, and wool along with the grain to build a new settlement. So now we can do a 3-to-1 trade as well. Lastly, we're going to activate this port again to trade 2 lumber for 1 wool and add another lumber to build a ship. We're gonna do it right here, and we flip a tile. It's just an empty sea space. Come on, I could really use some resources right now. 3, wow. So metal gets 2 lumber, and I also get an ore. So I'm gonna use my 3-to-1 port here to trading 3 ore into a lumber. And I'm gonna use it along with a brick to build a road. And that's it. And let's see if our new cities will be proven beneficial. 2. Unbelievable. Nobody has 2. Well, I have no resources. Nothing I can do.
So now it's our turn. 9. So Tangerine gets 2 ore, we get 1 ore, we get a lumber, and metal get a lumber. Anybody interested in some ores? I'm willing to trade it away for some bricks.
No, we have no bricks. I need my brick. I don't have bricks.
Okay then.
Commencing rolling for resources. 2. Very unbelievable. Nobody gets anything. We will now activate our lumber harbor to trade 2 lumber for 1 wool, and we'll use another lumber to build a ship. And now we discover this terrain tile, and it is a pasture. We get a free wool, and we also draw a 10, and we get the wool back. I hope I can roll a 6. I don't think 6 has ever come out yet in this game. 6! Speaking of the devil. So I get 1 lumber finally, and 1 grain, and the tomato also gets 1 grain. And with that new lumber, I finally can build a settlement. And I'm gonna get the 2-to-1 ore harbor right there. So now I have a 2-to-1 harbor and also a 3-to-1 harbor. That's gonna be very useful. Let's see if we get lucky. 5. Where's the 5? We got 3 ores. And I think that's it. I'm going to use my 3-to-1 harbor to trading 3 ores for a wool. Because now it's covered by by the robber. So it's very valuable to me right now.
Let's roll the resources for the tomatoes. 8. So Tangerine gets 2 bricks, milk gets 1 brick, and that is covered up. There's nothing I can do with my resources, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this ship to here.
We will now commence resource production. 2. Wow, unbelievable. Nobody gets anything. Okay, so now I roll for the milk people. 7. So I don't think anybody has more than 7 cards. So now I can move the robber to somewhere and steal somebody's stuff. Nah, I'll just move the ship. It's more fun that way. Let's steal right here. And we'll just steal a card from the red player, from the tomato player. Oh, it's a grain. Not much I can do with 2 grain and 1 brick, so let's move on. And now I will roll the resources for Tangerine people. 4. So I got 2 grain and a brick for the metal and milk player. I'm going to activate my brick pour 2-1 to trade in 2 of my bricks for a wool. And I'm going to use all my resources to get 2 development cards. I have some good cards, but you cannot use the development card you just bought on the same turn.
Tomato people will now try to produce some resources. 8. So 2 bricks for the tangerine, 1 for the milk, and the other one is covered up.